Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The first weekly vlog that I did was probably a mess. So let's see how we do this week. You wanna say hi? It is Monday afternoon, it's like almost 5 p.m. and I just woke up around 4:30 and did some quiet time, got ready for work and had dinner. If you look at some of the videos I put on my page, you're like, that's not the scrubs she usually wears. I wear this literally into the building and then out of the building, and that's it. Like, once I get in there, I change into hospital scrubs that they give us, that they let us borrow for our shift, just because there's a lot of body fluids and that we deal with that ours would probably be disgusting to wear. And then I'll be there for about 12 hours. So I just started nights maybe 3 months ago, and so I'll be working from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It's just gonna be a pretty chill week, so just come with me and you'll get a little behind the scenes of my life. It's 6:30 in the morning and I am changing earlier than usual because I got some pee on me. But last night was pretty busy, so I am glad to be going home. I just have to give a report real quick and finish some charting, and I should be out pretty soon. It is 8 o'clock in the morning and I am finally getting home. Hi, it is actually I don't know what day it is. That's one thing about night shift, you kind of like get your days all mixed up. It's Tuesday at 3 p.m. I woke up about 30 minutes ago. I'm dressed and Chris is actually having some friends over, yeah, on a Tuesday. It was really just like a last minute thing. Him and some of the guys have been wanting to work on a car together, and they just decided to make a party out of it. The cool and weird thing about working in the hospital is that your week is not the same as everybody else's week. We don't work 9 to 5, we work 3/12s. So sometimes those 3/12s are in a row, so we'll be off while everybody else is working, which is nice. And so a bunch of us are off today, so we just decided to make a party out of it and pull some games out, have some fun. It's Thursday, like around 1:30 now. We're on our 30-minute walk. I honestly did not want to come because it's so late, and yesterday I really did nothing but couch rot again. I really feel like it's because I've been on my period, and this cycle has been a lot different than any other one that I've ever had. I've actually been in pain and very like just lethargic, so definitely needed that rest. But my mental health does not love when I just do nothing because I start beating myself up. So I wanted to at least take my girls for a walk, and not like waste another day off. So yeah, I'll take you along to the rest of today. I just did like a 20-minute strength training session. I, to be honest, did not want to at all, was not going to. It is still Friday morning. It's now like 7 a.m. So I've been up for like maybe 4 hours already. Was honestly like waiting for it to stop raining. I'm sure you can hear the rain, but unfortunately it's gonna be raining all day. So I decided to just go ahead and come to our little home gym. We hardly ever use this. I've always had a treadmill. I just never use it. I honestly just love running outside in nature more than on a treadmill, but days like today it's very convenient to have. So I'm gonna do that for like 30 minutes. Maybe try to do some either arm work or back work. Made dinner, but I'm running to our shed because when I told Chris to come that the brew was ready, he was so excited because he got this truck this car he's been working on. He got it up and running, so I'm gonna go check it out. So my first shift out of 3 for the week is over. It's Saturday at 7:40 in the morning, and I just got off of work. I had a really rough shift. I have not had a shift like that in a while, but it made time go by fast, so fast that I didn't have a chance to eat. And I think what made it like worse or like harder was that for dinner, instead of having my energy fizz stick like I usually do, I had just like a soda. And so I did that shift with 0 energy drink. So I was kind of struggling a little bit here and there, but I'm glad that I get to go home and actually go to sleep. So hopefully I can actually have a good rest and be ready for shift number 2. Okay, so it's Sunday morning. I just got off of my shift and I wanted to share something because I thought it was like so great, so funny, and honestly like such an answered prayer, because so every single night that I work, I obviously like pray on my way to work for God to like take care of all of us, protect us, to give me wisdom and just like all the knowledge that I need, and to be detail oriented so that I can take good care of my patients. And last night, for some reason, I felt like I needed to pray for divine resources and divine timing, and I had no clue why I felt like I needed to pray that, but I started off my shift with a patient who was postpartum, and her I was taking care of her and her baby, and everything was fine, right? I just needed to like finish a few tests and send them off to postpartum. So I did that, and then I was free for like 5 minutes. Then I get a call saying, hey, like, we have this patient who's pretty advanced in labor now, so like you're taking her basically. So I'm like, okay, sure, that's fine. And they're like, she's trying to go natural, she doesn't want to get an epidural, you know, she's coping really well. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, this girl was very far advanced and was literally like, you couldn't even tell she was in labor. But like, the fact that she was trying to go natural kind of still freaks me out. Like, even though I initially wanted to be a midwife and like do everything natural, I have started off where I've started off my career. It's pretty common, and like the majority of our patients get an epidural, so I'm not very used to like natural births yet, and it's very nerve-wracking for me because the few that I've experienced with my other coworkers, the babies have been born either with just a nurse and no doctor, or not in the bed, basically, like almost on the floor, almost on the toilet, stuff like that. So it is very nerve-wracking to me to get somebody who is going without an epidural, and I don't get them very often. So all that to say that my patient was doing very well. We went in and broke her water, and then we went and started Pitocin, which is just medication for her to contract more frequently and more for them to be stronger. So not even an hour after doing both of those things, like I went in just to check on her, and she would, like, you could tell she was no longer coping as well as she was before. So I'm like, hey, like, let me check you, like, what are you feeling? And she's like, well, I don't know if I need to use the restroom or if it's baby. And I'm like, okay, well, let me check. So sure enough, she is ready to push, and baby is still like very high up. So I'm like, okay, let's just push a little bit and try to get baby down. So the first few pushes that we did, she did not push well at all. And then I don't know what got into her that she like gave me one really good push, and then I started freaking out because I was like, what the heck? And I'm like trying to call my charge nurse, which luckily I had already called her literally like 4 minutes before, saying, hey, like, we're pushing and it's not going to take long. So she was kind of already on standby, and so was everybody else, because like I said, she was already pretty far in advance and when she first came in. So then I'm like scrambling trying to call the doctor, and like I just end up freaking out, like not being able to remember whose number is what, because I'm still trying to learn all the phone numbers that I need to know. And when you're like in situations like that, your nerves get the best of you. You forget everything. You forget which way is up, which way is down. And so I literally just kind of run to the door of the room that we were in, and I usually would not have picked this room because it's like closer to the end of one of our exits. But my charge nurse was like, hey, like, this room is pretty much set up, like, you can have it. So I was like, okay, sure. So I took it, and sure enough, it was like all of this together was like perfect timing, because as soon as I opened the door, whenever I was trying to figure out what the doctor's phone number was to call her, I literally opened the door and she's like making her way out of the unit, and she's like right dead center in front of me, in front of my door, and I'm just like, oh, we're ready for delivery. And like the baby's head was like almost out, and so like she hadn't even like put her stuff on, and so she just like, runs and like gets in front of the baby, and like basically she like just barely made it on time. And it was funny because she actually made a comment herself. She was like, perfect timing. And then somebody else was like, oh yeah, right place, right time. And I was just like, I know, talk about that. And so it just like made me so like happy, and like it brought me so much laughter and joy, because like, you think that God like doesn't care about the tiniest things, but He really does. And so for him to like show up for me like that, and for my patient, you know, because I know it can be nerve-wracking whenever you deliver without a doctor, even though like us as labor and delivery nurses, we are all trained to know how to deliver a baby on our own, but obviously like as a new nurse, like it's a lot more nerve-wracking. And especially if you're the only one in the room, like you would have to take care of mom and baby. But yeah, anyway. I'm going home now to hopefully get some rest, and I'm even happier because I was able to get Chris some breakfast, because I was able to get out on time. So yeah, it was a good night for me, for our unit. It was still a pretty rough night, just like last night, but one more night to go, and hopefully it's not like the last two, but yeah. Hi, baby. So, I just got home and it's like 10:30 in the morning on Monday. I got out like around 9. Yeah, something like that. So like 2 hours after my shift, because I had a meeting. Like after that meeting, I kind of took it hard and I was crying and beating myself up, and I just have very terrible negative self-talk. So I told Chris, hey, can we grab some breakfast and just kind of talk it out? So he was encouraging me, and I almost don't want to talk about it because I don't want to end this vlog in like a negative way. But it's just like the real and the raw, honest part of starting your career as a nurse. There's a big learning curve, and like I mentioned before, like I'm just very hard on myself, but I think like more than anything, it's just, I like that saying that says, you know, every loss is a lesson. So I'll see you in the next vlog.